In this video, we're going over how to use FriendFilter. And here's what you're going to learn. How to scan your friends, how to scan your posts, how to add to whitelist, how to remove friends, settings on future scans, and how to manage ongoing scans. First, how to scan your friends list. The first thing you'll see is the Scan Friends button inside of the dashboard. If you don't see this currently, chances are you have not downloaded the extension and installed that yet. So be sure to go through the steps that are on screen that explain how to install the extension. If not, and you're still having problems, there will be a troubleshooting video coming up in a few videos. You can watch that, or you can always submit a ticket. However, you should see the Scan Friends button. Click that. Click on Scan Friends button. Then do not have any other tabs open, do not navigate away, and do not let your computer go to sleep. This software is using your local system resources, meaning your browser, to find this data. This data is not available anywhere else, so we need to use your browser in order to capture this data. This scan should take about 10 minutes to complete, and that's up to 5,000 friends. On some of the newer computers, it could be a little bit faster. On some of older computers with older browsers or less RAM space, it could take a little bit longer depending on your machine. So please be patient for this process. The first scan will look like this, and it will read your friends list. You'll see this pop up. Again, if you don't see this message, chances are that there may be an issue, and we definitely recommend to remove any ad blockers that you have on your browser or any other extension on your browser that could possibly be causing an issue. Again, we'll talk about that in the troubleshooting section, but I just wanted to mention that here, that you might need to remove your cache, disable cache. We'll show you how to do that, and refresh the screen if you're not seeing the screen pop up on the page. After this completes, like I said, it should take 10 minutes or so. Then you'll go back to the dashboard and you'll need to scan posts. You have to scan friends first, posts second. So click on Scan Posts, and again, do not have any other tabs open, do not navigate away, do not let the computer go to sleep. Depending on your activity, how much activity you have on your posts, how many posts you have in 90 days, this could take up to 20 minutes to do this scan. I understand that that is a substantial amount of time, but it's a substantial amount of data that we would need to pull in for those people that have a bunch of engagement on their posts. Now, if you don't post much, I believe that a few of our users that only post once a week or so, this 90-day scan only took about 5 minutes. For my scan, it took about 20 minutes, and I actually had to do the scan 2 or 3 times to make sure that it got all the data in. So it took some time, but after you do your initial scan, you won't need to go back 90 days ever again, as long as you can keep the list clean, and we'll be talking about that in a moment. So when you click on Scan Posts, this will show up and it will start reading the posts. This says 7 days, 0 out of 7 days, because that's what I have set as of right now. If you're scanning 90 days, it would say last 90 days, and it would tell you 0 of 90, and it would go up from there. Again, same thing. If you're having issues, you can always go to the troubleshooting video. If you're still having issues, you can submit a support ticket. This is how the data will show on your dashboard. So you'll see the active column when you're in the dashboard, the friends dashboard here. You'll see active, inactive, whitelisted, and unfriended. And we'll go ahead and talk about each one of these tabs and how to use the software most efficiently to remove those inactive profiles. So on the inactive tab, let me go back real quick and show active. You see in this column is the thumbs up, which is the likes and engagement there. And then this is the tab for comments, and this is a tab for shares. Now in inactive, you'll see 0 engagement here, here, and here. Now, often I've heard people say, well, I've seen a couple people in my inactive column that I know that they've engaged with my content. Well, be sure that that it was engaging with your actual post and it wasn't an engagement in a group or something like that. This is only reading engagement on your posts. So do keep that in mind. So this is your post engagement data. So perhaps you might think that a person has been interacting with your post, but it could have been in a group, and that data is impossible for us to retrieve here. We're only retrieving your data. Because as Facebook says, you own your data. So we're giving you access to your data. We're not saving any of this. We're just giving you access to the engagement on your data because you own it. And that's what the application is doing. So we're not searching anyone else's page or anything like that. This is only your data. This is the whitelisted group. So on this tab is whitelisted. These are the people that you go through in Inactive, and you can click on each one of these people and then click the add to whitelist right here. If you want to select multiples, you can select multiples. If you want to search for friends, you can search for friends. Say you want to search your last name, you type in your last name, and you could select all of them by using Shift. And then also there's a little hint right here. You can use Control if you're on a PC. You can use Command if you're on a Mac to toggle specific people in the row. So you can click around and start learning how to sort through this and make it simple for you to add to your whitelist, right? So once you do add them to the whitelist, you'll notice that you can remove from the whitelist, but you cannot delete these people directly off of your whitelist. So the whitelist will save the people that you cannot delete them by accident. So be sure to add your family, make sure that the upcoming a holiday with your family isn't going to be awkward because you accidentally deleted all your family members. So be sure to add those people on. Now once you have your whitelist all cultivated, say you have your entire whitelist, you only have 8 whitelisted family members, and for this example you have 2,092 inactive friends. Now let's go through how to start removing them. So click on the inactive, which is what I did right here. Say that you clicked on that. So click on that on the Inactive tab, and then start highlighting the people you want to remove. Again, hint, if you want to select, you can select all or deselect all, or you can use the Shift key to select a range of people in the row, or the Control, to hold down Control on the PC or Command on Mac to toggle which you would like to add or remove. So also you can be sure to use the per page view. So by default it's 25. You can add that up to 50, 100, 250, or 500, and you could literally select all. And if you do that and choose that option, you would be removing, it would update this here, and you would be removing 500 friends. And then you can click unfriend. So be sure to click through the inactive and toggle on and off and see how this number goes up and down. You'll get it pretty quickly once you understand how to add people to the unfriended. Then you'll just click this button. The automation will run. Again, same thing. Do not close the window. Do not close the tab. Just let it run. Let it do its automation. Now, I definitely don't recommend removing 5,000 friends in one day, but I've removed 500 friends in one day before, and I haven't had any issues with that. So be sure to let the system do what the system is meant to do, and try not to abuse the system, because we're trying to just use the software as you would in removing friends. So onto the settings tab. After you do your initial scan, I do recommend keeping the post to fetch per session. Try to keep that at 7. I like 7 to 10, somewhere in there. What this means is it will go and grab data. Now, as it's searching your posts, again, it's using your local machine resources. So it's creating cache systems for the session. So that being said, if you're going and trying to fetch per scroll, say 50 posts per session, that's going to be difficult because it's creating cache, and we need to dump that cache for each session. So we built this system that will dump the cache automatically per session, which is a per fetch. So I recommend keeping it at 7. Days back to fetch. I just keep mine at 7, and then I set an alarm. We'll talk about that in a moment. Activities to fetch, I just have this set to 2,000, shares set to 500, and comments to 500. And then my unfriend per session, I actually don't even use this parameter because like I showed you up here before, I actually choose who I'm going to remove. I don't use the auto remove feature. I choose who's being removed so I can double check before they're removed. So when I click this button, I know I've looked over those 500 people to make sure that there's no one on that list that I'm familiar with who I want to keep on my list. So I actually don't even use the auto unfriend feature, but that's this right here. The referral program is the affiliate program, so you can toggle that button if you would like to participate. And I definitely recommend toggling this button for I agree to share debug info with FriendFilter. So if you are having any issues and you do need to troubleshoot, this will send us the HTML code of what you're seeing on your page. And what that will do is that will give us more data to understand where the bug is in your system. Again, this is a searching feature. So this is something that's literally using your browser. So if there's any error inside your browser, which errors happen all the time inside of your browser, it's not due to the software not working. Software works perfectly fine. What we need to do is understand what happened inside your personal computer that created the problem. It's not something that happened on our side. This is something that happened on your side. So we need you to send us the HTML code inside of your browser that will tell us the error that happened. Toggle this button if you would like to share that data with us. And then again, set an alarm. So I have my alarm set for every Sunday. I log into FriendFilter and run my 7-day scan. Don't worry if you're overlapping a little bit, a couple of days. That's perfectly fine because we don't double count any of the engagement. So we remember who commented on what and who messaged or shared on which posts and liked which posts, and we do not double count. So if you have a little bit of overlap, that's okay, but just be sure to keep your list clean. And if you run every 7 days, you won't have to wait 90 days again for it to go back and scan. So I recommend every week going through and running your scan to help keep your list clean and help keep your active and inactive list most up to date. You'll start seeing your active list growing. We're launching new dashboard features here shortly, and it's going to show you how FriendFilter has helped to cultivate an increase to your active list on your friends page. My objective for all of you is to have an increase of your active users, an increase of your likes and your engagement, and an increase of your overall page reach and engagement as a whole. And that's what FriendFilter was made for. So be sure to keep using the software, use it every week, and keep scanning, keep pulling that data in, and keep making actionable insights based upon that data. Now keep in mind, whatever can be measured can be improved. FriendFilter is measuring the engagement of your friends, and it can be improved. So keep using the software and keep improving your page reach and your engagement for your Facebook profile. Okay, in the next video, we're talking about some advanced posting strategies to get more engagement on your Facebook posts. See you on that video.